So Power Sundays is officially back, with double uploads on a Sunday, and maybe more because they keep dropping these random teasers, which I do expect them to carry on doing over the next 2 months. Let's talk all things Power Book 2 Ghost and Power Book 4 Force, because they did release another promo teaser for Force, and it was just a few new scenes with Tommy. So we're going to run through how New York is over for Tommy Egan, and what he's going to be up to in Chicago. But we're also going to be recapping a few scenes from the first episode of Season 2 of Ghost. We're going to have a look at Tariq's alibi, and how Jabari's death really affected him in this episode, and one of the biggest mistakes that he's going to make all season long, and whether we can trust Mecca or not, because I still question his real intentions, especially with what he knows and who he knows. Now we'll also take another closer look at Drew and Diana and the Tejadas, and how they're foreshadowing them to turn on Monet this season, as well as break down the Force teaser towards the end of this video. But of course, if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 2 Ghost and Power Universe related. But let's have a look at Tariq's alibi first, because it definitely was an important detail in Tariq's whole story, because this timeline of events is definitely important at the beginning of Season 2 to understand the whole perspective of where we are from the time Tariq killed Jabari and the moment he woke up at Grandma Estelle's apartment. It's only been 1 day. Tariq killed Jabari last night. Now Carrie also saw him at his office yesterday, so when he went over to stay at Grandma Estelle's place, he knew exactly what he was doing. He needed to make sure that he had an alibi, so he's not placed at the scene of the crime, and because Grandma Estelle's been drinking again, he puts it in her mind that he'd been there since 8 PM yesterday. So there's Tariq's alibi, which was definitely a smart move from him, but he also made a few huge mistakes that could potentially cost him later on this season. I mentioned in my review and recap that it was a huge mistake to keep the burner that he used to contact Jabari with in the first place. Now the last person Jabari messaged was Tariq on that burner cell, so the police were of course going to be tracking this number, and when he answered, he waited and he waited, and it's a damn good job he didn't speak, because if he did, then he definitely would have been in trouble. But they've traced this burner back to Stansfield now, and at some point Tariq will be pulled in for questioning, and I think the spotlight will change as the season goes on. I think the spotlight will be on Carrie, Tariq and Zeke, and they'll all definitely have their turn when it comes to this whole murder investigation with Jabari. Now we know Tariq isn't going to talk, of course, we know Carrie's innocent, but she's also got the issue with Kevin Whitman, who's already started to question her. But what would Zeke say? He's got his basketball career to think about, and the last thing he wants is to be tied to a murder case at Stansfield, so he's the one I worry for the most. But coming back to Tariq answering his phone, now Tariq isn't perfect, he's far from it, he's smart, and he showed us this again this episode a few times, but he's still gonna make mistakes, and it is normal for him to make mistakes, because he's still young and he's fresh in the game. LB Rio made a very good point when it came to the burner phone, something similar to what I said in my review and recap, where he should have got rid of the phone because he was the last person in contact with Jabari, but he compared it to the Ghost situation, where Ghost had a drawer full of phones, and he always used to constantly change his burners, ditching his old phone to cover his tracks, and it is true and it's a very good point. But we also have to remember that we were introduced to Ghost when he was Ghost. We never saw his come up when he was James St Patrick, because I'm sure he made his fair share of mistakes too. And the most recent example is Kanan in Raising Kanan Season 1. Look at the difference between him in Power and in Raising Kanan. So I'm sure we'll see Tariq learning from these mistakes, but because he's been totally isolated this season, he doesn't feel like he can trust anyone. It's probably clouding his judgment and some of his moves that he's made. He just wants to talk to the one person that's always been there for him. He's lost that person who he could trust, and that's Tasha. And let's not forget, he just killed a civilian. They teased how it was going to affect Tariq this season, killing a civilian, and you can definitely see in this episode, killing Jabari is definitely affecting him. When he killed Ray Ray or set Kanan up to die, for example, we never saw him having these flashback scenes, so these definitely have a lot more meaning behind them when he was seeing Jabari, because you could see it did definitely affect him. So this one will stick with him throughout this season. But let's talk about Mecca next, because he is someone who we knew a little bit more information about going into Season 2, but after Episode 1, I do agree with a few comments. There definitely is more to his character than what they're showing us so far. I'm sure we're going to learn about Monet and Mecca's past, and how Monet used to like Mecca, or maybe the other way around, but Lorenzo may just have been there at the right time, and maybe been able to offer Monet what Mecca couldn't. So I think him finding out that Cane is Monet's son, he'll start to use this to his advantage, because from his character description, it does tell us that he's going to be a manipulative character, and Cane is someone who can definitely be manipulated. But this isn't the only problem for Monet. Drew and Diana, they're sick of Monet's bullshit. They want to start making their own decisions, and they want to start making their own moves. And if you've seen the trailer for Episode 2, we'll see Diana making some of these moves when she approaches Effie, and you can tell already, there is definitely going to be a huge Tejada divide and split. and Drew and Diana are going to be at the center of it, no doubt. I spoke about this during my Power Off season and how there's going to be a power struggle between Monet and Lorenzo, and it seems like Drew and Diana will be at the center of it all, and now we know why. Monet wants to control them. She wants them to play these positions with Zeke's career, but that's not what they want, and I'm sure that's not what Lorenzo wants either. So we'll start to see this unfold, but this is something I'll dive deeper on during the week when I do my storyline breakdowns, because I can already see Drew and Diana turning on Monet, and Tariq is someone who's an opportunist. He'll sense this, and I think he'll be able to use Diana against Monet. But as I said, I'll go into it in a lot more detail during the week. So let's talk about Power Book 4 Forces teaser that was released in the early hours of the morning as well. And for those of you who haven't seen it, I will leave the link to it down below in the description and in the comment section. But it's Tommy in Chicago, and he tells someone that New York is over and this is his chance. And I believe he's in his new apartment, which was teased a while ago, which was an image posted on Instagram. And it sure is Tommy's chance. Whoever he is speaking to, it is definitely Tommy's chance to show us what he can do when he starts all over again in a new city with new rules and new people, and he'll definitely show us that he doesn't need Ghost anymore. Now, we also got our first glimpse of Jeremiah. He'll be playing a character called Elijah, a high member of the Central Bureau of Investigations who knows how the drug game is played and isn't afraid to bend the rules. And as the closest ally of Janard Sampson, there's nothing he won't do to prove his loyalty to the Sampson brothers. So he's going to be the inside man, and the man who Janard and Diamond have inside law enforcement working for them. There's always one dirty cop on Power, and we've seen it a number of times across the Power universe now, with Angela Turning, Mike Sandoval, in Power Book 2 Ghost there was Ramirez, and now Kevin Whitman, who we don't know too much about just yet. In Raising Kanan, there was of course Kanan's father, Detective Howard. So Elijah will be on the books of Janard and Diamond Sampson, and possibly we'll see some interaction between Tommy and Elijah as well, because Tommy will be playing the peacemaker between two of Chicago's largest crime families, which will be the Sampsons and the Flynn family. And we also saw the Flynn family in the teaser. We saw Vic Flynn as well as Claude Flynn, who tells Tommy, "Welcome to Chicago," and welcome to Chicago indeed, because although he'll make his mark like he did with Simon McDougal, like we saw in the past teasers, he'll also get a taste of what Chicago's drug game is all about and the players involved. One of the scenes looks like he's going to be kidnapped. Who by? Who knows? It could even be the Serbs, because we know Jason Michich and the Serbs were based in Chicago, so they could very well easily write them into the story in force at some point. But Tommy will definitely make a lot of enemies along the way, no doubt. But it's just a very short teaser for Force, which I will leave the link to down below for those who haven't seen it. And I do expect them to keep dropping these random teasers and images over the next 2 months, because Force is literally around the corner. I do think we're going to get the official trailer at the end of December, possibly during the midweek break for Power Book 2 Ghost, which definitely makes sense. So that's when I think the trailer could be released, which would be around the back end of December. But that's just a rundown on the new scenes from Tommy in Chicago and how New York is over for him. So let me know your thoughts on the Force teaser, Tariq using his Grandma Estelle as an alibi, his mistake that he made picking up his phone call on his burner cell, and what do you think Mecca's play is? What else do you think he could be hiding, or do you think he's just a new connect and there's nothing else to him? Drop all your thoughts and comments down below, and of course if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 2 Ghost and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.